Good morning or good afternoon or whatever time it is near you. Good morning. Hello, even. I'm getting all tripped up. The energies are so strong right now, aren't they, Mr. M?
Yeah, I may have had something to do with that, right? Playing music before the show and being very mindful of other people's peace and tranquility.
Yeah.
For which I apologise.
No, you don't need to apologise. I mean, we all have our little ways of getting into our body, don't we? And Carl's is to sing loudly. I can't remember what it was you were singing.
Everyone's a winner, baby. That's no lie. That's no lie. Yeah,
that is the one. And you've got a great voice. Anyway,
and today... I'm available.
Anyway, welcome to The Moment. This is our daily show where we check in with you, we find out how you're feeling, and also get to talk amongst ourselves, but also talk to amazing people. And today is no exception. We've got good pal Sarah Taylor ready to join us in any moment. Sarah has been on our other shows loads and loads of times, and she brings this beautiful quality of I would say insight. Would you agree with that?
And directness.
And directness and humor.
On the money. Yeah.
She's amazing at like cutting to the chase and really seeing the heart of the matter. And so it brings me absolute joy to bring her on now. Please do let us know where you're listening in from and join in the chat with us, because I think Sarah really gets a buzz from the whole interaction. Let's bring her on now.
Sarah Taylor, welcome to The Moment with the Munsons here on New Reality TV. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you for inviting me.
Good to see you.
It's lovely having you here.
Look, Bob's here as well. Good morning, Colin Lewis from Bob and Karen.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Bob asked a very interesting question. Do we need to subscribe? What do we need to do to watch the show every day? At the moment, you can watch on various platforms. Probably the best way is to favorite newrealitytv.com. And we're there midday Portuguese, London time, and then repeated throughout the day. I think that's the best way to do it, Bob.
I would say so, yeah.
Yes, and that's why you've been watching us that way, haven't you, Sarah?
Yes. From
time to time, and that's how people might be watching you today on New Reality TV. So welcome to the platform. What's going on? How's 2025 treating you?
Not too bad so far. Definitely feel a shift.
Yes.
I love that, because today's title is how can we feel clear in a changing world. And one of the things I've always associated with you, Sarah, is this amazing clarity, and also the ability to know when you're not feeling clear. Like if you're not feeling right in yourself, you're able to identify that. What techniques is it that you use, or are you using? Because I don't think you're a one-trick pony. You've got like lots of different modalities under your belt.
I was going to say, what day is it and what's going on? Well, I consider every tool in the toolbox to be available. And sometimes I'll just think of, let me just start by saying I'm not always clear, and I don't always know that I'm not clear. Okay. Sometimes it's just me scrambling around trying to get myself sorted out. And then I realize I need to take some space. So for me, it's about taking space so that I know what I really think or what I really feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're around a lot of other people, even though you like the company, you like being social, sometimes your thoughts aren't yours.
Right. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because, most people, I'm guessing, and myself included, I really think that the thoughts that I feel are coming from me. I know now maybe that's not real, but I know you're much better at talking about that.
I think we're always communicating, even in subtle ways, not with language. We're always communicating, even if we don't. Might not be saying something to you, but our energies are always dancing with everybody that we're around, especially people within 6 feet of you. So, and I am using feet. Sorry, somebody will have to convert that to meters if you.
I don't know what that
means. No, never. 6 feet. Everyone knows what 6 feet is.
So it's like when you're in a group of people, you are all sort of. You can feel everybody's energy, and it does. Their thoughts, feelings, and emotions you might think they're yours.
Okay.
And one way that you can check that is just ask yourself, who does this belong to? Is this mine, or is it someone else's? And the way I feel it is there's just this little lightness when it's oh, it's not mine. Like I can actually, but everybody's different. How would you guys ever experience something like that? What does a yes or a no kind of feel like to you?
Well, I don't know if we had this conversation the other day, didn't we? That I'm not sure if it was here in this context, but this is what kinesiology is in a way, isn't it? The muscle testing or kinesiology, or being aware of the energy in your body, and it might be your arm, it might be a different way of discerning that. But presumably, what my thought about that at the time was, we must have been kinesiological, and can be kinesiological beings. We can live our whole lives in that level of sensitivity, couldn't we? Rather than making it optional. I mean, how mad is that? That only sometimes do we check whether something is good or bad for us when we remember to, rather than living our whole life like, oh, that doesn't feel good, I'll move. That feels great, I'll move closer. Why wouldn't we live like that all the time? But we're accustomed not to. If that is in any way connected to what you're saying there, Sarah.
Well, I can answer that if you would like me
to. Yeah,
I'd
love you to.
I think judgments that we have about what's right and wrong or good or bad to do stop us from actually we can't just walk around constantly. There's other people that are involved. So you're always include everyone, but still listen to yourself. And I think one thing that's going on a lot that I think a lot of people are anxious and they're really overwhelmed. And I think that asking two things. Number one, who does this belong to? Is this my overwhelm or is it everyone around me? And I'm picking up on it somehow. And number two, is it true? Yeah. This thing that I'm telling myself that is wrong, is that actually the truth? And ask yourself that. Is this actually true? And if it's not true, like just asking the question will bring the awareness about. Yeah. Really, it's asking questions that put you in a place of awareness, that walking around talking about everything that's wrong, you're never going to have any awareness. You're just creating more, you're creating the frequency of wrong all around you. You've got it in every particle that's in your aura, and that's exactly what you'll attract.
Oh my word! See, this is what I was talking about. This is the insight and directness that we described Sarah in 2 key words, and we've got contributions. Donna Marie's here. Great to see you here, Donna Marie. There's thick energies. I think that's your generalized view of what's going on, or where you're at, or what you're seeing, what you're sensing. Donna felt lots yesterday and knew it wasn't all mine. Awesome. Cleared it with meditation. Very good. That awareness.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful. And doing, and like, I think that's what you're saying, Sarah, isn't it? Is ask the question: is this mine, or what is this to begin with? What is this? Yeah. This thick energy that's going on. I'm doing a lot of kinesiology since I was there last. Says Viv. Hello, Viv. Good to see you. But
Hi,
my
Viv.
gut
Hi,
is
Viv.
very involved too. Now, this is. I think that's what I was pointing at, alluding to. There is that balance. You know, are we just moving from place to place, from life situation to life situation, with these judgments of what's good and bad and right and wrong, or are we listening to these capabilities that we've begun to talk about here this morning?
Well, I can say. I can give you a tip on how to.
That's why you're here.
How to get in the place of asking yourself those questions. And it's actually something that a boss I had one time, which I don't really do that well with bosses, but I've had a couple.
Who does?
A boss that I had one time, I was really upset over something that was happening.
Yeah.
And he looked at me in this meeting and he said, just stop.
Ooh. And what happened? Did you?
And when he said that to me, I left. I was so angry. I was just like, how dare he say that to me? But then about, I don't know if it was a day or a couple of days later, I was like, he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
I need to just stop.
Yeah.
So what could you just stop that could give you the space to actually perceive what is the truth for you.
Wow. Who is that hero?
I know.
Where are they now?
This is
They
why.
need to be on a show next week.
Well, this is.
I still don't like the guy, but
Okay,
yeah.
just
And I suppose it depends how it's said, because it's
Mhm.
in many ways it reminds me of the Victorian vogue for slapping hysterical people. It's like, well, that's what you do. You need to stop them getting any deeper into that, and that's what was going on there, wasn't it? Or bringing people back into their bodies. Perhaps that's what you were able to make it mean after you'd got over the offense of that. From presumably, it sounds like quite an offensive person.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are physical versions of that, isn't there? Like, for instance, like with a child or someone that you're intimate with, obviously, like someone that trusts you and allows you to be in their space.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can like hug them so perfectly that they almost relax. Like sometimes if our kids have been a bit panicked, we could watch them and give them the space to do that. But sometimes I feel that, the physical, the hug, it really sort of communicates almost like, I don't know if there's a sort of massage principle where you just put pressure on something for a period of time and then all of a sudden there's this release. But I think sometimes a deep hug and silence and that real almost, maybe that's why they swaddle children.
Body,
yeah, maybe that's why they sometimes people sometimes advocate for swaddling babies, because that sort of like tight energy can sometimes relax. I don't know, but that just stop, the audible version, I imagine, was very powerful, and also a massive slap in your face as well. As you didn't like him.
Just stop. I mean, that is really, yeah. I mean, I can see how that would have been horrible to hear. But how great of you to reflect on it and then think, hold on a minute, actually, yes. How it was delivered probably wasn't very nice, but the intention or what you made it mean ultimately is very, very powerful, isn't it? It's like, what can you stop? And yes, I love Sarah's tips, says Viv.
Yeah.
I feel our first moment with the Munsons feature coming on. And now, Sarah's tips. Today's Sarah's tip is, I mean, there's going to be quite a few here this morning. So.
We've got some new people to the show. We've got Chaylee. Hi.
Hi, Chaylee.
Thanks for joining us.
And a hello from Makeup Therapy.
Yeah, I know Makeup Therapy.
Do you?
Yeah, Makeup Therapy comes through on my Feel Good Astrology.
Makeup Therapy. Have you got any tips for these under my eyes here? Anyway, Makeup Therapy's
nice
tips.
Back.
Back to Sarah. Back to Sarah's tips.
Yeah.
Now.
So, I mean, what you've like demonstrated there or given us as a tip, like the question, who does it belong to and is it true? And then the just stop.
What can I give up?
Yes. What can I give up? I mean, they are, I think, really useful things for like giving yourself that space, which I think is what you were talking about. We all need a bit of space sometimes to be able to process things ourselves. Are there any other things that you can think of?
Well, I just want to say also that there are people who get very, very good at never leaving space, so they have to look at what isn't working.
I know I do that myself, and you do as well.
What? I'm not even aware of it. That's really worrying. Yeah, I mean, at least you're doing that. I've just been accused of it and didn't realise I was guilty.
Often do. Well, I mean, that's why we've got like long lists of things to do, isn't it?
Sarah, say more.
Well, if you never have the space to look at what is or isn't working, you won't. If you stay busy enough, you will never have to look at it. And you're welcome to. It's your life. You can go through your life and never really stop and look at what is working and what's not working. And I say working, I mean for you. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, your experience is what you're having.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like that caveat. And we don't intend to be prescriptive or bossy here. These are serving suggestions, aren't they? And we might ask the question, how's that working out for you? Which you can ask for any sort of behavior, can't you? I mean, it's usually meant as a put down, isn't it? It's like, well, how's that working out for you? But we can apply that to anything in our lives, can't we?
Sarah, I've got a question. As a juggler of energies, always like juggling lots of different types of tasks, and in lots of situations with not much space in between. You said, like, you don't give yourself the space to work out if it's good for you or not. How might I be able to do that quickly, or how would I be in the knowing of that?
Well, just notice when what your body's doing. If your body's like all tightened up and you feel like at any moment you're about to pop, I would suggest that, we'll function quite a while like that. We can walk around like that, and then we get into a state of maybe urgency or, stress.
Yeah.
And then when you're in that state of stress, nobody around you is going to be happy because it's contagious.
Yeah.
6 feet thing, right? So,
Yes. Or you might attract more people like that.
well, you absolutely will.
Yeah. And
Yes.
and also more people that want more from you, right?
Yes. Well, I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind leading up to this show.
Sure.
And it's something I've experienced, which is being more of a passenger. Now, without getting into the passenger and the driver thing, like we have done that before, I just want to say if you're striving or working too hard towards something, it will keep moving away from you like a carrot, I guess, the dangling carrot that's always there. And I'm at a point now where, and maybe some other people are too, where you really can't physically work like you did when you were 20 or, so we have to optimize. And so in the name of optimization, I'm playing around with a little bit of, I'll call it magic, but it's not magic. It's just, I wonder what would happen if I shift my frequency to the frequency of what it is that I would like. And what I would like is, what do I love? And how do I want to contribute to the world? How do I want to make money? If you're making money, and what does that feel like if I was the vibration of everything that I want? I mean, this has been talked about so many times on so many different things, but what I want to talk about is when you vibrate take a moment, like you do, Carl and Louisa, when you do the meditations or where you stop and think about what that vibration of having what you would like might feel like. And then just do your life and wait for the little doorways to open. Because I've seen the little doorways open when I start doing what I love, what lights me up, and all the things that I would like. There's surprises, and there's surprises because I'm letting my frequency do the work. So how can you let your frequency do the work for you?
She's writing it down. She's writing it down.
I just got my pen out.
Today's big takeaway.
Yes. Can you say that again? How can
your frequency is doing the work for you?
Yeah.
Already. So whatever you're vibrating at, you're getting more of. So if you're vibrating at stress and can't get it done, all these negative things that aren't going to work, things will not work. And they'll continue. You know how when you stub your toe in the morning and then all of a sudden you have a stain on your shirt and, because you've gone ballistic over the first thing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
So in the same way that we create that, think about just switching that around and saying, okay, I'm really good at creating chaos.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if I could use this ability that I have to actually create the things that I would like to bring into my life.
Yes. Absolutely wonderful. More comments coming in. Thank you for the heart, Jane, who's joined us as well. This is around the time when you were asking, how can you tell there, Louisa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Body's tight, shoulders tense. Oh, that's you preparing for a Portuguese lesson. I think that might be sighs and breathing. And okay, and our thoughts go out to you if you're about to have a Portuguese lesson, everybody around the world. How can you let your good frequency do the work? Which is that was another way.
I really love that. If you don't mind me saying, it reminds me of I quite like the writings and podcasts of Chuck Spezzano. from psychologyofvision.com. And he says, let heaven do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And what you said, how can your frequency do the work? It's like, how can your frequency do the heavy lifting for you? I love that, Sarah, so much. And, you know, if you are watching and you're somebody who's watched, you know, my Feel Good astrology shows and forecasts, you might have heard that I've mentioned my good friend Sarah quite a few times in those forecasts. And I'll say, look, there she is
right now.
There she is. This is my good friend Sarah, who I find always so inspiring. She's got this amazing way of putting things and bringing clarity out. So
yes,
that is the person I'm referring to.
Yep. And Donna Marie, is that the School of Philosophy, Donna Marie? I did quite a lot of time with the School of Economic Science. I learned through practical philosophy to pause after and before each task. Coming to your senses, really, isn't it? Fall still. That is how they used to describe it when I was, if it's the same organization. It's great to refresh. Stop the thing you're doing, let it complete it as much as possible, and then move on to the next thing. Otherwise, you end up like a sort of candy floss stick, don't you? Picking up candy floss throughout the day until you can barely get through the door at the end of it. Energetically, that is. Doing dancing really works to increase my frequency and vibration. Yes, and in Birmingham, UK. Oh, shout out to anybody then who's been to the School of Economic Science, the School of Philosophy. Their gift to society, I think, is quite extraordinary. Sarah, may I ask something as well? This in the sort of bigger terms of what might be happening in this epoch of humanity. It's always difficult to know, isn't it? Because we have our own point of view, which can be assumed to scale up to how everybody else is seeing things, which can be disastrous, of course, to assume that anyone else sees the world the way you do. Yeah. But do you feel that we're in the midst of something? Here you are on New Reality TV. What's your interpretation of a new reality? What signs are you seeing of some general shift? Because you mentioned shift, didn't you? Do you see that collectively as well as individually?
I guess I do, in that I think the people that are vibrating at the same frequency that we are, we're able to find them easier now.
Yes.
Everybody is, it's almost anybody that has been feeling lonely, or thinks that they're alone in any way, if you just be yourself, then the people that really are your people show up. They will show up for you. And when we're not being ourselves, that's when you can't, that's what is part of the struggle. So I feel like people have no choice but to be themselves now.
Wow.
And so any and I actually wrote this down, and I wanted to say this: all the false identities that are not aligned with the essence of who you are, would you be willing to let all of those go right now, today, and see how that shifts your frequency?
Now, that's quite an invitation, is it not?
Yeah.
What, now, today?
Yes. The answer is yes. Sarah, the answer is yes. 1,000 times yes.
I want to hear that again, though. So let me just share this, because I completely agree. This show is amazing. Thank you very much. This is the bit I agree with Sarah, is I can't think of a good enough word.
Yeah, same here.
And you just demonstrated that. So can we give you the screen again, and you put that to us one more time? Because it's so profound, isn't it?
Yeah. I know we're running out of time, like we are coming towards the end. We've got another 5 minutes, let's say, and then saying goodbyes and stuff. Is it possible, Sarah, that you could give us that sense again, but also with a little bit of relaxation around it? Because when you asked me that, I actually wanted to close my eyes. And in fact, there was a couple of times. There was a time before when you were talking and I thought, wow, this sounds like I want to close my eyes and visualize it. Would you be able to guide us through that?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so just relax and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just picture the back of your tongue smiling and your face relaxing. And just a couple of more nice deep breaths. And now expand your energy 100 meters into the ground beneath you. Just feel it go down, 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 and go further if you want to. Go down. And then also at the same time, feel that energy at the same time come up through your body, out through the top of your head, go up through the roof, into the sky, out into the universe. Just feel that go. And now the front of your body and the back of your body. At the same time, feel that energy go also. 100 meters in front of you, out, out, and 100 meters behind you, out, out. And from both sides, east and west of you, expand that energy out all the way to the east of your body and the west of your body. Feel it coming out of your ribs. And now you're lit up like an energy ball. And now I want you to feel that gratitude and that space for the earth, for everything in it that's contributing to you. And then while you're in that space, just feel that. Anything that was a big problem might feel a little bit smaller. And be thankful for all the ways that all of the people you don't like have contributed to you, and all of the people you do like have contributed to you. And now, I would invite you to receive this energy I'm sending to you right now to help you break through all those places that have held you back. All those places that felt solid, let's just make them into liquid and then gas. And all the false identities that are not aligned with the essence of who you are and the gifts that you're here to share. Let them go now. Watch them move through you, out through your skin, and out into that vast space until they're tiny particles. They're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They're gone. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
So I have to do something I did the other day with Tasha.
Yeah.
Got to let that out.
I had to wing that a bit.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Now what's possible?
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Yeah, you shifted me Kundalini there, I think, or something. Something's gone on there. Wow. Thank
Wow,
you so much.
Sarah.
We need to say goodbye at this point,
Mm.
at least just for a farewell and bye for now. We need to go in about 20 seconds. But thanks so much, Sarah. And we'll make sure that a wow from Donna Marie at 100%. We do have to go, but thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And we'll be back again. And obviously, we've got to bring Sarah back.
Yeah, Sarah, would you come back again?
Yes.
That's all we need to hear. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye for now. Thank you,
Lots of
Sarah.
love.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.